What's going on, wrestling fans? That's right. Another video brought to you exclusively by WrestlingRumors.net. My name is Doug McDonald. Of course, I'm the senior editor of the site, so everything that comes through here usually gets channeled through me. And that's obviously a little bit over 24 hours ago. Some news broke. Actually, some news popped up on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and I use the term "popped up" because, of course, we're talking about what we have deemed Wienergate. Since in America, everyone loves to deem anything that's controversial or a scandal something gate. We saw it before Super Bowl with Deflategate, which I think it's so stupid that there's nothing more. There's nothing more deemable for a gate than, of course, Seth Rollins' wiener. So we're calling it Wienergate 2015. It's the hashtag that we're using on WrestlingRumors.net. Of course, on our Twitter account at WrestleRumors, you can see that right down here. Of course, you can go to our site anytime you need anything as far as news, rumors, opinions, results, anything that's happening in the world of professional wrestling. We have you covered. And of course, this whole video is just to talk about everything that's going on with Seth Rollins. And when we talk about Seth Rollins and we talk about what happened, which we'll get to momentarily, the drama is more than this. I mean, that's the story. The drama behind the scenes is the story. And of course, we love cluing you fans in to what goes on behind the scenes more so than what you see on the TV, because anybody can see that. I mean, whatever's on the camera is what's on the camera, and all of us get to experience that. But what's behind the scenes, the people that make the characters, that usually proves to be more interesting than what we see on TV, especially with how the writing and the performance on television has been lately, which hasn't been great. We're getting more interesting things behind the camera. And, of course, when we're talking about Seth Rollins, a lot of things are happening. And, of course, there's these allegations that maybe he was messing around on his fiancée. She obviously finds this out and, of course, leaks some pictures on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, which just incredibly, it was an incredible embarrassment for Seth Rollins. He had to go and send an apology to the fans, his family, his friends, all that kind of stuff. And now we know that there may be some ramifications in terms of a fine, even though there's probably, that's just what WWE has to do because there was a nude photo leaked from his WWE account. There may be a fine there. If it's going to affect his push, as we've seen him grow to be one of the biggest heels in the company, we don't know. That's yet to be seen. But aside from kayfabe and aside from what's on TV, the story of the man is interesting, and that's what we need to talk about. His real name's Colby Lopez. For anybody that doesn't know, Colby is from Iowa, and of course made his name as Tyler Black in the Indies, Ring of Honor, and was a fantastic competitor there. Had to adjust in WWE when he came on to WWE. And as we know that Triple H has said in interviews, and Seth Rollins talks about in the journey to SummerSlam, WWE Network exclusive for the Shield, that Seth Rollins was even almost fired from WWE because of his attitude and the way that he handles himself backstage, and he couldn't adapt and thought he was better than everybody else and all this kind of stuff. Gives you a little insight to who Seth Rollins is, Colby Lopez. But a little bit more deeper, this guy obviously likes the nudies. He likes the nude photographs, likes dealing with that kind of thing, and of course has these different relationships outside of what's going on. So that's what started all this drama, is that this guy likes this kind of stuff, and of course it's now coming back to bite him in the proverbial bottom. And if you don't take my word for it, you can take our guest's word for it. Of course, this is Lindsey from Canada. How are you doing tonight, Lindsey?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So you are in what part of Canada?
Vancouver, BC.
BC, Vancouver. We do have one of our writers at WrestlingRumors.net is actually from Toronto, Mr. Chris Walter. Always raves about Canada. I've been to the east side of Canada. I've been to Montreal. I've been to Quebec. I've been to Toronto. Enjoyed Canada. My time there. I really enjoyed the atmosphere. I was very. It was. I mean, everybody's just so nice and.
I know. So I hear.
Completely different than here. I mean, now I'm in the South. I'm in the South. I'm in South Carolina. So everybody here, says sir and ma'am and opens doors for each other, and it's very pleasant here as well. Which is what I encountered when I was, in Quebec and in that side of Canada. But I've been to Chicago, I've been to the New York area, and I mean, it's not as nice as you would say Canada was. I thought Canada was a lot more welcoming than some other parts of the United States. But it just feels like there's just an era, like this aura of kindness and respect
Right
up
on.
there. So I feel like that's there. But so you are a fan of the WWE. How long have you been watching wrestling?
Oh, I started when I was like really little. I would watch with like my grandpa, and then kind of fell off for a little bit, and started watching like a couple years ago again, and yeah, so on and off like for a while now.
Who are your favorite wrestlers?
Definitely like Randy Orton. I love The Undertaker. Love him.
Very good. Very good.
Um, and I'm a fan of Roman Reigns too. So
So, okay, obviously the Undertaker, that's you appreciate him for his work.
yes, I mean I love The Undertaker. Like he's awesome.
I would assume, much like my wife, that you enjoyed Randy Orton and Roman Reigns for some other reasons as well.
I mean, yeah, you can say that.
It's obvious, right? And at one point you thought the same thing about Seth Rollins. You were attracted to Seth Rollins, right? And so apparently this whole thing, we posted the story about what happened last night and the whole Wienergate deal where his wiener got plastered all over the internet, and of course we had come across your story a couple of weeks ago when you did this interview with another podcast, and we're talking, and I don't think anybody probably took your story that seriously at the time.
Wow.
I mean, because it was one of those, like, we heard it and we were like, this is interesting. Like, I wonder if this is like full on true, because we heard your story, but I didn't see any. They didn't post any pictures. There was no evidence of what. Now you've shown me some things since, which I definitely, this girl is telling the truth when she says she had a Snapchat, Instagram, relationship with Seth Rollins. They were talking back and forth. This is real. I'm not making anything up. I've seen their conversations. I'm going to post some in the story here with this video. So obviously you've already seen that if you're watching this video right now. It's real. They had a relationship via the interweb. So, as much as what you could call it that, but it's one of those things where, how did you two get to talking back and forth? Like, how did you get in contact with Seth Rollins?
Social media, Instagram. So it started with a direct message, and didn't think I would get a response, but I did, and then just went on from there. So social media.
Yeah, social media is a crazy, crazy thing, isn't it? So you started talking to him via Instagram. Obviously, the guy. I mean, I'm very secure in my masculinity to say the guy's a good-looking dude with his beard. When he doesn't have his beard, he's a little bit more like Rocky Dennis from The Mask. But that's a whole different story. But I'm a beard guy myself. I really the dude's a good-looking dude. The guy's chiseled, cut like a rock. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing. Like maybe 2% body fat, if that's even possible.
Yeah.
So dude's a good-looking dude. It's one of those things where, obviously, like I said, my wife watches every single week, loves watching with me. We went to WrestleMania. She loved that. It was awesome. She was super excited about that. Obviously, she loves Roman Reigns just because of his look, even though she hates listening to him talk, because she's become more of a smart fan where she's watched so much that she's getting all this behind-the-scenes stuff from me. So she appreciates the work more than the look at this point. But she's huge into Randy Orton, loves Randy Orton for his look and for his work. That's with him, loves him. But, at the same time, I don't think she would, much like you, if she ever messaged one of these guys, I don't think she would ever expect a return message.
No.
And you sent one to him, and what did you say? What was the first correspondence to him?
Honestly, it was just a photo, and it wasn't like anything fully, and he said it was the best DM yet or something, and then he dared me to send more. So then I was like, okay.
So he used the dare line, which every guy has done at some point in his life. I dare you to send me some more, like, I dare you. Double dog dare you, if I may. Okay, so you sent him a photo. He says it's the best DM yet. What year was this? When was this going down?
2014. Yeah, actually, it was the end of 2013 into 2014, and then yeah,
So it just continued from there. When did it end? When did y'all stop corresponding with each other?
pretty much it ended in the summertime around August, and then we still had a few conversations here and there, like November 2014, and now it's completely done. I'm blocked on Instagram and everything, so
Oh, he blocked you?
yes, I'm blocked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. And see, we thought we were just getting blocked by CM Punk because we keep reporting on his life, but you're getting blocked for completely different reasons. So okay, so you start with a photo, you start talking, and of course you strike up something of a how many times a week, how many times a day, like how was y'all's conversations going down? Were you talking to him weekly, daily?
Probably multiple times a week,
Okay.
throughout, like, at random times. Generally, when he was finished a show and he had a long drive, that's when he would, that's the prime time for him.
So late at night, he would try to get you to send him
A lot of it
some.
was.
Okay. So I mean, and for those of you that don't know, I mean, life on the road for wrestlers, it's absolutely crazy. There's especially in the '90s and stuff, as you know, if you're into wrestling, you've been in wrestling for a while. People that are watching this, wrestling in a committed relationship is hard. It's really hard. You're on the road 300 days a year, especially if you're working for WWE. Obviously, it's different for TNA, especially now. But for WWE, you're on the road like 300 days a year. You know how many marriages have been broken up because you're on the road so much. You can't see your wife. You can't hang out with her. You can't get fulfilled from her as much as you would like. You can look at John Cena's marriage that ended because he was on the road and things happen while you're on the road. You've got, Randy Orton, same thing. I mean, Batista's gone through a divorce. All these guys, especially, look at your Bret Harts and your Scott Halls and the rumors about Davey Boy Smith and how Sonny was backstage and all these different relationships that just don't work in the business. And I mean, Ric Flair's gone through 4 divorces even out of the business. So I don't even know where we begin with Ric Flair. But I mean, Space Mountain's been open for a very long time, and we know why. But it's one of those things where it's hard. It's hard, and I'm assuming that Seth was. I'm learning Seth's behavior whatsoever. But I'm just saying, the wrestling world, when you're traveling that much and away from your wife, is hard. Now, of course, the rumors were that he had been sleeping around on his fiance, or engaged with others outside of his relationship for a while. And this is why all this stuff came out last night. Now, you're saying you had a Instagram Snapchat relationship with him. When did it move from Instagram to Snapchat? Because what you sent me were Instagram account messages.
Yeah, see, like I couldn't screenshot the Snapchats, otherwise I'd be busted, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, otherwise you might have pictures that leaked last night if that was the case.
Exactly.
Good thing he didn't have those saved.
Yeah, so pretty much right off the bat, he wanted to move it to Snapchat, so
Okay.
yeah.
Which, if there's anybody that's watching this that doesn't know what Snapchat is, it's literally an app which now has gone back to private. It was private to begin with. It's kind of like how Facebook and Twitter were at the beginning. I mean, it was private. Facebook was created for college students. When I was in college, I'm 30 years old. When I was in college, it started my freshman year of college, and as a Clemson student, I mean, it was Facebook. It was weird. You could contact all these people that you left in high school or wherever, all these different campuses. It was private. Now everybody's on Facebook, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. Snapchat was the same way. It started as a private thing. You sent, how many seconds is it? 7?
I believe the most is 10.
So 10 seconds, you could send a photo to somebody with, I mean, honestly, when it started, it was a bunch of guys taking pictures of something and then drawing a dick on it and sending it to their friend and saying ha 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 ha, and or whatever it was. It was a picture that will pop up on your phone, 10 seconds at the max, and then it goes away and it's not saved and no one can ever trace it and it's gone. Unless you take a snapshot of it on your phone, there's no way you're gonna have that saved.
Yeah.
Because my wife was doing it from day one, and I've just never been a big fan of that. I don't even have an Instagram account. I don't know. I'm old school. So there's all these different things where, you know, Snapchat was basically, it became where Vine, when Vine started having a lot of, you know, you could take, you know, 10 to 15 seconds of whatever you're going to take a 10, 16 second video of. I mean, I know that it started with a lot of nudity and a lot of pornographic material, people jerking off and fiddling themselves and sending that to someone else in that sexting world. And then, of course, that they tried to, you know, cut all that out by taking care of the hashtags and all that stuff. It still goes down. They're trying to do the same thing for Snapchat, and so they made it open where it saves. But now they've gone back to private, which, I mean, I'm sure has just blown up the teenage sexting industry, which Seth Rollins is a very, very big fan of, obviously. So he wanted you to send him nude pictures there, so that obviously his fiance, who must have caught wind of something going on, he wanted to use Snapchat so he wouldn't get caught. Now, you sent him some risque photos, correct?
Yeah.
What would he say? Like, what did he do? Now, obviously, you're attracted to the guy, so I understand the premise. What would he say to get you to send these things?
Well, basically, there was one of the pay-per-views, and I was like, oh wow, like when he like jumped off the rafters or whatever, he was still part of the Shield.
Yeah. Extreme Rules, I think, was the Shield versus the Evolution.
Yeah, so I was like, wow, that was like crazy, and he's like, oh well, it deserves a reward, and things, just really cheesy things like that, and yeah.
And for a while, you went for it, because I mean, obviously, this is a famous guy that
yeah, I was like, why not?
Really good looking dude. You know, you may have a shot at getting with this guy at some point. You know, so he's leading you on this way, which is a douche thing to do. And like you said in your previous interview on a different podcast, you said that you got ringside seats or close seats to the ring.
Yeah,
and
it was row 1. Yep.
Yeah, and had a blast at the show, and he kind of teased, like, are you ready? Like what was the deal there? Like, what was your, because this was the last time you really talked to him, right? Like, this was the time where he cut you off? After
pretty
the
much,
show?
yeah.
So what happened? What happened?
So, like, he was, you know, he's like, oh, well, tonight's the night kind of thing, and I was like, oh, yeah, like, I'll be there, and he was just saying, like, sexcellent, and just cheesy things, like, nothing that was,
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, like nothing that was like really straightforward, and then I don't really remember the rest because I drank way too much. Yeah, and then apparently I just said some vulgar things, and yeah, then the next day I was just like, yeah, like pretty much just sent a really nasty message, and then we didn't talk for months and months, and then eventually he deleted me. So yeah.
So well, you said you talked some in November, right?
Yeah. I contacted him again as a joke, like to see if he would respond, right?
Yeah.
And he did, like within literally 5 seconds. I kid you not. I was with my friend. I was like, let's see if he responds, and he did, like within 5 seconds. I was like, okay.
Now, what was that exchange? Like, what did he respond with?
So I just sent like another kind of photo, and he's like, oh, with like a emoji face, like the one that's like blushing.
Right, okay.
And
yes.
yeah, and then I was like, thanks for deleting me, and he's like, well, I knew you could find me on here if you wanted to, like, so he was open to it.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, so and at that point, he's engaged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like he got engaged right in the middle of the summer, right? Like right after that pay-per-view.
Yeah, something
like
that.
Like a couple days after that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And of course, is it Leah or Leia?
I don't know. I've never actually heard anyone say it.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone say it either. I should. I don't know. Again, I'm old school. I don't know who half the people are. I'm only 30, but I swear I don't know who half these people are. When someone says you should know who this person is, and I'm like, I've never, outside of Seth Rollins, I wouldn't know who this chick is. Like, I have no idea who Leah and or Layla Schultz is. I don't know what she does. I mean,
Yeah.
any of this stuff. But I know I'd seen some pictures, and I think we even
Mhm.
reported when he got engaged. It was just a news story, so we of course reported it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, so this guy obviously, if he's interested in doing this with you, and now that we've seen what happened last night, there may have been more people that he was doing this with,
Oh,
and
for sure.
of course, so I mean, if this guy has millions of followers and has a wide array of, I'm sure, female fans, just like throughout the years of wrestling, this is how this happens. It doesn't matter if it's wrestling or music or anything like this. You're a good-looking dude in an industry where tons of eyes are on you. You're going to have a lot of people that are interested. But I want to know your thoughts on what happened last night. Obviously, Schultz. All we know is apparently on Sunday, Schultz and her friend Jessica started alluding to weird things on Facebook, where Jessica posted something, a song lyric, which is funny because we had been looking at Zara, who is the NXT diva Zara Schreiber. We've been looking at her. She's been doing song lyrics that basically alluded to her being in love with someone on Twitter for a month. So that we didn't think anything of it because we didn't know who she was talking about. But Sunday night, which was weird, Jessica and Leah, Jessica posted some song lyrics. Leah responded with some quotes, and it was like, "I love you so much, baby. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." And nobody, nobody thought anything about it. The next night, this woman, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, right? So this woman plans out her move and waits until Seth Rollins is in the ring at the beginning of Raw around 8:15, 8:20, and unleashes holy hell. Sends out Zara's nude picture under Seth Rollins' name on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and says Zara Schreiber with like a winky face or something like that, like hot or something like that. And it's a picture of Zara in like what looks to be, maybe she's getting into a tanning bed or something. She's naked, boobs are out, her tats are hot, but she's tatted up, boobs are out, ass pic, taking a selfie, which we assume that she had been sending Seth, which we were assuming that she'd been sending Mr. Lopez, as we had heard the rumors that he may be sleeping around with someone else. We're assuming this is who it was with, because apparently he had been sending her pictures of himself as well. But he never sent you a picture of his genitalia, did he?
No, I've gotten him a picture of him in like well, first there's that one of his lap, just in pants, which is like, ooh, so.
I'm sorry. I've seen the picture. It looks like a woman's lap. Like, it looks like something that your grandmother would send you of like, hey, check out my new sweatpants. Like.
Yeah, everyone I've showed that to says that.
Not sexy at all. Like, you're sending him risque pictures. You're sending him, semi-nudes, maybe even full nude, but classy. You're sending him these pictures where it's like, bring it on, son. And he is sending you a lap pic that your grandma would send you. Like, that may be indication number one that this guy is just playing you for your body, just playing you for pictures. But nevertheless, the guy's a jerk. So he sends you pant pics, which is super sexy. What else did he send you?
I got one on Snapchat that was he was actually what I would believe is him and his fiance's bedroom, and it was a mirror shot, and he was wearing the tightest, smallest Calvin Klein like briefs that you could ever imagine. So I got that.
Like bikini briefs.
Yeah.
I would have to assume that they're bikini briefs because it's Seth Rollins. Like, I don't see him in boxer briefs or regular old like BVDs or anything like that, or boxers at all. I mean, the guy's freaking cut and jacked. He's gonna wear bikini briefs. That's just how it rolls. Even Hulk Hogan wears freaking man thongs. So I'm assuming that Seth Rollins will be wearing that as well. So you got a picture of him in his underwear, and that's about as risque as it got from him on that end.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on him sending pictures of his wiener to to Zara, and of course his fiance during Raw when he's out in the ring decides to out him for embarrassment purposes only. That's the only thing that this could be about, embarrassing him, calling him out, saying that she knows what's been going on. Because right after she sent the pictures, she went on Facebook, and she and her friend were tagged at a location called Pillow Talk, which I'm sure is not a real location, and were quoting things that he had said to Zara, things like "I love you so much," "I hate my life, and I want to run away with you. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me," all that kind of stuff. What are your thoughts on all this? So this is a guy that you obviously had an interaction with, and he shut you down. He deleted you and blocked you, which is cold in itself. And then you see all this stuff happen. What does this make you think? Now people now have to believe your story. I mean, I've seen the interactions, so I know that they're real. But what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on all this?
I mean, I'm in a kind of a weird position, like, talking about it, but I think what his fiance did is hilarious, and, like, power to her. I found it very entertaining. Like, obviously, there's really no hard feelings on my end towards him. I don't really care at all. Like, I'm not gaining anything. Like, it's in the past. Like, I'm just telling my story. So I think it was hilarious, to be honest. And he deserved it.
Oh, yeah, so is this something that you would do? My wife was like right on for her. Like that's something that my wife would have done. I mean,
I would for sure do it. Yeah.
I mean, this is something that if not handled correctly could literally have gotten him fired. I don't think that he's going to get fired by any means. Maybe face a fine, and that's about it. He's being positioned as one of the top guys in the company, and I don't think that this is going to be. Obviously, WWE is hypocritical in a lot of things that they stand for, and will pick and choose what they agree with. And I like. Did you watch? Do you have the WWE Network?
No, I do not.
Did you hear or see anything of the Triple H Stone Cold Steve Austin interview?
Not a whole lot, no.
So, and this is just where we're coming back to the hypocritical stuff, because I just think it's funny that this happened a week after Triple H said that Chyna probably wouldn't go in the Hall of Fame anytime soon because she did pornography, and an 8-year-old can look up Chyna if they put her in the Hall of Fame and see her doing pornography or see nude pictures of her when she did Playboy while she was part of the WWF, and now anybody that looks up Seth Rollins on freaking Twitter or on any form of social media is going to find his wiener. So and they're not going to fire the guy.
No.
They might fire Zara for causing this kind of stink, but that didn't happen with John Cena or Nikki Bella, and that was of course the same kind of situation. But I mean, what would you say? Like, what if you were to send him an Instagram or a text message tonight? What would you say to him? In
Probably
response
just
to all this?
Just a bunch of ha 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 ha. To be honest, I don't really have anything else to say, so.
That's hilarious. Lindsey, I mean, this is your story. This is what's happened. You interacted with Seth Rollins. You're one of the people that know this kind of situation from him. You knew that he was supposedly in a relationship, but still pursuing you in such a way. So this is the real Seth Rollins.
It is.
This whole Wienergate Seth Rollins is Seth Rollins. This is the real guy. This is Colby Lopez.
Yes.
What would I have to pay you to say Wienergate one time?
Wienergate.
Yes. You heard it here first. Lindsey from Canada, all about the Wienergate 2015 here on WrestlingRumors.net. Lindsey, thank you for your time. This was awesome to talk to you, hear your story. I know our fans are going to appreciate it. You're just a regular person, just like all of us, a fan who reached out and got a response, even though it was kind of dirty dog-esque response.
Yeah.
And you know, we all make mistakes. We all do. We all. I mean, I'm sure if it was 1996 and Sunny would have responded to me, I'd have been showing her my wiener all day long. You know, that's what would have happened. But thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit tonight and letting us know what was going down behind the scenes, because that's what we live to tell, is the story behind the scenes and the real lives of what's happening in the background. And can't thank you enough for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything you want to leave our people with? Any words of wisdom from Wienergate 2015?
If you'd like to contact Seth Rollins, send him a DM.
Of what?
Your ass.
There you go. He likes to eat that, apparently. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was us talking to Lindsey from Canada about Seth Rollins and Wienergate 2015. Thank you for watching, and of course you can follow us at WrestleRumors on Twitter, and you can always come to WrestlingRumors.net for anything that you need to get your wrestling fix on. This is Doug McDonald, and I'll catch you on the next one.